Hello, this is Lori Parma. You're watching the Contemplations on Yoga today. I will chop this episode in two sections. The first one is going to be about the mind-body connection. What does that mean exactly and what's the science behind it? The second part is going to be about the benefits of yoga. Yoga isn't a typical form of exercise. It is very much centered on what happens in the mind as we move. And many people describe it as meditation in movement. So one of the central tenets and aims of practicing yoga is not just to do the poses and sequence the postures one after the other. It's also very much about, can I create a joyful and steady connection with the floor and pay attention to my breath as I do it? And that's where the meditational compound of it comes into play. It is because simply when we pay attention to the way we move and the way we breathe and try to focus on essentially nothing else, then it is a form of meditation. Okay, so now let's go for the science. How does this mind-body connection help us be happier? What is mind-body connection anyway? Essentially, the tools of yoga, which is to move and breathe, send a message to the mind, which is it's okay to relax. It's exactly the same principle on which massage works. So in yoga, whenever we breathe and move with awareness, something changes mentally, even if you aren't trying consciously to change thoughts or emotions. And that's for the bottom-up effect. Now, the other way in which yoga is wonderful is that it helps us regulate ourselves from top to bottom. And what this means is that simply by using tools to impact the mind, it has a trickle-down effect on our body. The same thing sort of happens whenever we listen to calming music. The music only happens in our head, yet our whole body will relax as well whenever we listen to music. In yoga, paying attention to our breath and paying attention to the thoughts and just letting them pass and come and go, we have a direct benefit to the body. So yoga is fantastic in that way because it works both ways. We calm our head and let our body relax. And in the other sense, we move the body, which enables our head to relax. Now, what are the benefits of that in everyday life? I find that practicing yoga is a wonderful laboratory for what happens in everyday life. Because we have tendencies that tend to repeat, right? And the way we practice yoga, in essence, is very similar and maps onto many things we do in other areas of life. Be it connect and relate and talk and have relationships with people, or say work. And so I find that by learning to regulate and be more calm, be more patient, be more joyful, be more steady in yoga practice is a wonderful behavioral and cognitive training to look at life in a different way in other activities. So that's me for today. A little recap is that yoga is wonderful in the sense that it is top down and bottom up, which means that we pay attention to our thoughts and it lets our body relax. And by moving and breathing, we actually indicate to our mind that it can relax too. And the benefits of yoga is that by learning to know ourselves and our patterns and recognizing them better, we get to develop higher emotional intelligence. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I hope you like the new setting. And I'll see you next week for the episode on aesthetics and beauty.